Welcome back to Proxy, everybody, and today I have some exciting news for all of you Eldari lovers out there. The new Fuegan model has been leaked and is confirmed to be coming with the Eldari Codex in 2025. So we kind of all figured this, but we didn't see the model, and this is the first chance we've gotten to look at the model itself. It actually came and leaked on a Reddit post, so, you know, good old Reddit, of course. And yeah, some of you may have already seen the leak, but I wanted to show you guys because I'm so excited about it, and I'm going to tell you guys what my thoughts are on the model itself and what can we, truly expect from some of the new Eldari releases going forward. And this has honestly quenched some of the doubts that I had about the new model line and the sculpts that the Aspect Warriors were going to get. So without further ado, let us go ahead and look at the leak. So this is the model, everybody. And again, this was leaked on Reddit, which of course is no surprise, but looks awesome. He has the classic Fuegan feel, but he's streamlined. The sculpt looks super, super detailed. The way he's holding his fire pike and axe look epic. He no longer is just kind of like standing there like he's like he's in line of the DMV or something like that. He actually looks just so awesome. He has a banner as well, which is really detailed. And you know, if you guys don't know, the Eldari Phoenix Lords, some of them do have banners. I'm not sure if Fuegan ever really had a banner, but the addition of the banner leads me to believe that, Zerman is probably also going to have a really epic looking banner, and it's going to look really cool, going to be really fun to paint, and I'm really excited for that. Some of the older banners are just kind of, they're kind of plain, so to speak. There's not much detail to them and stuff like that, but this is really awesome. And wow, look at the base. And I'm going to show you guys more detail about the base in a second, but it is an epic base. It kind of goes along with some of the other Phoenix Lords, but I actually think this is a step above. You got the flames on the base itself, kind of like the Avatar of Cain, which is super fun. And of course, this is a burning Space Marine or Chaos Space Marine helmet, so I really personally miss that touch about GW, and I don't know if you guys have known this, or noticed this, but recently a lot of the new GW sculpts and stuff like that don't come with dead or dying Space Marines on the base, which is kind of a shame because some of the old sculpts came with that, and I think it really adds a grim darkness to the model itself, and it also adds some sort of a, kind of fickle, capricious Eldar thing that, they're not always on your side. They're not always going to be fighting with the good guys, right? And that's something that the lore has kind of changed within the last, I would say, 10 years of the Eldari. I remember getting into the Eldari and their lore and stuff like that a long time ago. And they were very much a, kind of chaotic neutral almost force, and they would sometimes work with Imperials, but only for their own interests, and then would easily double cross them if things didn't go their way, or if the Imperials were doing something that the Eldar didn't like. So, this kind of brings it back a little bit. I think, it is a Chaos Space Marine head, not a regular Space Marine head, so there is that. But I still think it's cool, and I still think it adds an aspect to the model, which is, it's just simply beautiful. And I love this model. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other leaks here. So the stat line for the weapon got leaked as well. Fuegan's stat line also. So Fuegan is going to have the same stats he has now, base stats, which makes sense. So that's going to mean a couple things, and it's going to have a few implications. One, the Phoenix Lords are probably not going to have different stat lines. They're probably all going to have the same stat line. If Fuegan, who's classically and historically tougher than the other Phoenix Lords, has toughness 3, then all of them are going to have toughness 3. As for the weapon profiles, the melee weapon is pretty much exactly the same. Strength 5, AP minus 4, damage 3, it's on 2, 6 attacks. Solid weapon, we know it, we love it, but it's gonna basically be the same there. But the Seer Song is what is different. So if you look at here, and I'll drag my mouse over to this so you guys can see, the beam profile or I guess the dispersed profile, whichever one is not the melt-a-shot, has been upgraded. It has been given Assault. It has been given Sustained Hits 2 instead of D3, which is just a quality of life bonus, I would say. And Melta 1. This is the big one. This means within 6 inches, that damage 2 is going to become damage 3. But it's going to be additional damage added on at the end, so it's going to be tacked on after. So any half damage abilities or anything like that will first subtract the damage to 1, and then the Melta would bring it to 2. So actually decent into 4 wound models, which is kind of cool. Because this weapon before wasn't good into anything with -1 damage. So things like Deathwing Knights, just an awful profile into those types of models. But now it's actually pretty good within 6, which is kind of cool. So you might pick up a Deathwing Knight with this thing, instead of, whereas before, you would be lucky to even, pick up half of a Deathwing Knight. Then you have the other profile, which did also gain Assault, but it's essentially the same, right? Range 18, 1 shot, 2+ to hit, 14 strength, -4 AP, D6 damage, but melt to 6. So this thing is still packing the heat. We don't know yet how Strands of Fate is going to work. We don't know how Fate dice are going to work in the new codex, but this is a quality of life upgrade for the weapon. It looks better, and it is better. And I think in general, this gives us a good glimpse into maybe what the other Phoenix Lords are going to look like too. I think GW has heard the community that Phoenix Lords just feel a little bit lackluster. You have Phoenix Lords like Jane Czar, who, in the lore is just this whirlwind of death. And then when you put her on the battlefield, she's really not hitting that much harder than a lot of Space Marine characters and, unnamed characters at that. So, yeah, she's a lot cheaper. She's only 90 points. But I think Eldari players want something that is going to be impactful on the battlefield in a meaningful way and not just something that's super cost effective. So that's going to be fun. I think that's maybe the direction they're going with the Phoenix Lords, is giving them certain boosts here and there to make them more impactful on the battlefield and feel stronger. So that is cool. We don't know what its points cost is going to be. Could be more, could be less. It depends. We don't know what the new ability is going to be. It could be the same one where you revise on a 2+, or it could be something completely different. We'll just have to wait and find out. So here is the model. Now, the thing I love about this model, guys, is it looks pretty easy to put together and build. There's not much guesswork in it. You could take this kit and without the directions, figure out how to build it. Which is more than I can say about some of the other kits out there for characters. Like if you look at, for example, I don't know, the Autarch Wayleaver, there's so many options on there, and, you could easily mess up with the cape and putting on the backpack and stuff like that if you're not careful. This is really easy. It's simple, and that's what I love about it. And honestly, it just looks fantastic. I mean, if you look at the detail of all these individual pieces, you have the loincloth piece, which can actually be built separately from the main loincloth, which is an awesome little thing because you can actually spray paint this separately, and then glue it on later, allowing you to really get into these areas in more detail. So I really like that. And this goes, same thing for the banner. If you want to paint the banner and the back separately, you can, which is cool. Now, I would have preferred that the banner actually be separate from the back altogether, but it is what it is. That's fine. You have the Seer Song attached to his backpack, which is a little bit of a neat touch. I don't know if I've ever kind of enjoyed that kind of thing because, well, it's annoying, but it looks like it's pretty easy to, if you wanted to cut it off, you could. It's not hard to do. And then, you have the fire axe, which is just super cool. And again, it looks really similar to the old fire axe, which makes it just so awesome. And some of you guys will be happy to know that it also really looks very similar to a ghost axe. So for those of you who converted your Fuegan model with a ghost axe, you're still fine. You can use your converted Fuegan. It looks pretty similar to this one. You might end up buying this one anyway just because it's so awesome. But, if you don't want to spend the $40 or whatever it's going to be for this model, then, you can keep your old Fuegan. It's still going to look really badass. And then lastly, we got the base. So the base, if you look here, actually can be totally built separate from the model itself. So, I know when I'm gonna pick this guy up for sure. When I pick this guy up, I'm going to be painting him separately from the base. The base is going to be its own thing. I'm going to paint the base separate. And it just looks really epic. You got this, ancient piece of ancient Eldari ruin right here with, some little Eldari, I don't even know what I would call these, little maybe portal glyphs or something like that, or portal structure type things. And then you got the flame right here, which can also be painted separately, which is awesome, and God, I just love this model. He just looks so cool. So yeah, this isn't going to be something though that I'm gonna, spend too much time on. It's not gonna be a super long video, but I just wanted to show you guys how awesome the Fuegan model is. Generate some hype for it because there should be. It's a great looking model, and I just want to kind of go back to when the Striking Scorpions came out for a second. I do like the Striking Scorpion sculpt. I do think it is better than the metal sculpt that GW had. But I was disappointed that the poses were a little bit static. They were a little bit samey, and I get it that they were just kind of part of a kill team box, but it was kind of a little bit of a letdown for me personally, you know. And, if you look at the Striking Scorpion art, for example, like in the books, it just didn't come close, in my opinion, to the actual sculpts of the model. Not that the models are bad, they're good models, but it was just, it was a 7 out of 10 when it could have been a 10 out of 10, and that kind of irked me a little bit because we've been waiting for, almost almost 2 decades for him. But this has given me some hope. I think that we're going to see some awesome kind of work out of GW as far as the aspects go. I think these ones are really, truly going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see the other Phoenix Lords and aspects as well. So, I'm super excited for the Fuegan release, for the release of the Codex, and hopefully there are more leaks to come. Pretty good indicator of the quality that we can expect from these Eldari releases. They're not going to be just thrown out there, done super quick in kind of a just, oh, we got to do it because we got to save the, branding of our image, that we're one of the better model companies in the world. It doesn't look like that. It looks like they actually put time and thought into the models. The addition of the banner, for example, on Fuegan is a really good indicator that they do want to go a little bit extra. They want to go the extra mile with some of their models, and I like that. The new weapon profile, while it is awesome, a lot of people are talking about it. There's a lot of buzz about it. It's more lethal. It's going back to that classic Eldar, the more lethal faction. We pay a little bit extra for it, but we have really good damage. And while that is awesome, we won't get a real good idea of how good it truly is until we have the full codex in our hands. Because, of course, we don't know the different synergies that are possible with it. We don't know the different combinations and stuff like that. Strengths and weaknesses of the faction in general with the codex could be completely different than they are now. I know that it'll probably be, for the most part, very similar, but there's subtle differences, and you guys know with the Eldar, the subtlety of those differences will make all the difference in how they play on the tabletop. So, again, we'll just have to wait and see, but I'm very excited for it, and I hope you guys are too, because you should be. Now, I am going to be covering every single leak that comes out coming up to the Eldari Codex. I'm very excited for it. I'm building another project. I'm working on the Craftworld Alliance. I'm getting up there in points. I'm hoping to do some cool battle reports fairly soon where, I actually record some of these games, take pictures of them, do whatever to, kind of show you guys what they look like on the tabletop, because, the models I use for games now are just, it's getting better because I'm getting more stuff painted. I'm getting more stuff built to a good quality, but a lot of it's from when I was a kid, and it just, it just doesn't hold up anymore, and I don't want to put it on camera because it's embarrassing. So, that's how it be, but I'm working on the new project, and I will also be, as these releases come out and as the Eldari Codex comes out and we get these new models, I will be posting my work for them on the channel for you guys as well. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you to all my patrons and supporters who have supported the channel over the last 2 years. Your help has greatly improved the channel and helped it grow so much, and we're over 5K subscribers now, and I'm hoping maybe by the end of the year We'll see. But by the end of the year, maybe we can hit 7.5K. I think that would be a really good milestone for the channel. But anyway, thank you for listening. If you do want to join the channel's Patreon, I will go ahead and leave the link in the description. That will give you a free link to our Discord, which has a great community on it if you want to talk Eldar shop with, other players who love the faction. If you want to see the leaks early, because of course we have people on the Discord who are even more on it than I am as far as the leaks go, and you will get access to that very soon and very quickly. I also have a channel store page and an Amazon affiliate link if you want to check those out. Amazon affiliate for discounted Eldar minis. We're running out of time until the Codex comes out, ladies and gentlemen. That means the Combat Patrol is going to go the way of the dodo. So pick up a Combat Patrol while you can. Grab your cheap Wind Riders. Grab your cheap Wraith Lord. There's probably going to be Guardians in the new Combat Patrol. You don't probably have to worry about that. But, who knows? Maybe the Farseers changed out. We don't know yet. We'll just have to see. So grab it while you can. And then, of course, if you want to grab some Eldar apparel, Eldar-inspired apparel, you can check out my channel store page for that as well. Alright everybody, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out.